Good morning, welcome back YouTube. My name is Nigel Schroeter and you guys are tuning to the best finance channel on YouTube. Please make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe so that we can get this information out to other people. Now today what I want to talk to you guys about is why you should be applying for credit even if you don't need it. So here's one of those things. A lot of the times you'll see where people are apprehensive to apply for credit. They're scared because they have inquiries. They're scared because other people have told them not to apply for credit. Credit's bad. Not that banks aren't going to approve them. They're scared because they don't feel like they're as competitive as they potentially would want to be to apply for that particular credit product. But what I'm here to tell you guys is to make sure that you all are, applying for credit at the appropriate times. And sometimes the appropriate time is when you don't need it. So what do I mean by when you don't need it? A lot of the times we end up in a financial horror. We end up in a financial terror because when we had the appropriate credit profile to potentially get approved, maybe it wasn't going to be for a limit as high as we wanted or something like that. But what ends up happening is, we end up in a position where we may lose our job, or we have a unexpected expense, or we end up in some type of predicament where we're sitting there and we need the money and now we can't get it. Because what happens is when one of those unexpected expenses occurs, what ends up occurring subsequently is that your credit score in turn will start going down because you're going to be more apt to actually use your credit at that point. So now you've hit a predicament where you've lost your job. You had to put, monthly bill after monthly bills on this credit card, and you're not getting the income. So what are you doing? You're taking, you're taking money from one card, using it to pay the next card. Take the money, use it to pay another one. You're kind of cycling around your credit cards, and eventually your utilization gets so high where you can't even cycle your credit cards. But if you would have applied for a 0% interest card months ago, you could have had a quicker way to potentially pay down that debt if it was a hidden expense. If you would have applied for more cards months before, even if they weren't all the highest limits, maybe you're not getting $20,000, $30,000 cards, but maybe you're getting a $10,000 here or a $5,000, or three and $4,000 cards add up. You get four of them, you're looking at $16,000, $12,000, that you wouldn't have had access to otherwise. You want to start applying for these things in advance. Sometimes, you hear people saying that they want to invest in real estate, or they want to invest in, cars or different things of that nature. Well, then, if that's what you want to invest in, you have to show a lot of installment credit history and that you can afford to pay things and that you are paying them and you're paying them on time. And that's what the banks want to see. So sometimes you need to just walk into your bank and apply for a loan, even when you don't feel like you need it. Take that money and go and flip it and do something else with it to make money. Because it's going to, first off, you having a loan sitting there, what it's going to do is it's going to motivate you to go and find a way to spend that money. Now, what it's your job to do is to find a way to spend that money that's going to make you money. So I want you guys to think about it. If you go into a bank and you apply for a loan, you apply for $10,000, but you didn't need this loan. Say they give you $5,000, you're still winning because you didn't need the loan from the beginning. Now you can take that money, you can slowly pay them back, and you'll lose a little bit of money in interest, but when you come back to them later on and you actually need the money, you're in hard times. you can say, hey, I need, you gave me 5,000 the last time. I need 10 this time. I need 10 because I'm going to consolidate some debt, do this, do that, blah, 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 and make some money. And, if you're in there and you're calling for reconsideration, say you do get denied from the beginning, it's a lot easier to get that reconsideration once you've already built that relationship of paying that bank back on time and showing them that you can pay them back and you will pay them back, versus someone else who just walks into that bank and they've never had that relationship and they have a poor profile at the moment. It's not going to happen. Now, the other thing is, because a lot of banks offer internal scoring, if you are someone who goes in and applies for loans even when you don't need them, you're building up that internal score, and every thousand counts. Every time that you get one of those loans, even if they're just secured loans, so you're just getting, that small interest rate, take the loans and use them to build that internal score. Build up that internal score to where you can walk in that bank and you can ask them for $100,000. Now, you might only make $30,000 a year, but you can walk into that bank and ask them for $100,000. Now, maybe you can only walk into that bank and ask them for $20,000. But say you use this strategy with 5 different banks, and you walk in there and you go to all these banks in one day. And now we're in the digital age. You don't even actually have to go into the bank. You can do this online for the most part. But you develop that relationship. What could you do with $100,000? And this is things that we're seeing on the personal side. Imagine on the business side, where you can turn around and still use this to hide utilization. You can turn around and just take advantage of the bank's system. And that's what I want you guys to be doing, is knowing how your bank operates. Being able to go into your bank and ask for what you want and getting it. A lot of us don't understand what that means, to be able to go into the bank and say, hey, you know what? I want this American Express card. And your bank says, here, take it. Take this American Express card. As a matter of fact, here, take a stack of them. Take a whole bunch of them. Here's 100,000, here's 200,000, whatever you want to call it. Take them. Go do it. Here's $1 million in credit. Show me what you can do. And you know why they'd say, here's $1 million in credit, show me what you can do? Because you've built up. And you may have built up from 250 in credit and built that up to, in turn, having, 1,000 in credit. Then having, 3,000-4,000. Then 10,000. Then 20,000. Then now your bank feels like maybe they can trust you with 40 or 50,000. Then you might go up to 60 or 80,000. Then you might go up to 100,000, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. These banks jump up. As they start to trust you more, they're going to start to give you more money, because you're going to be making more money. So since you're making more money by having these large loans, the bank is going to trust you with more money, because they can see that you're responsible and you're going to pay them back, and they're going to profit. And they understand that if they give you the money, you're going to keep coming back to them to get more and more money, because that's realistic. If I know that XYZ Bank is going to give me XYZ amount of dollars, why would I gamble and go to ABC Bank, and I've never had a relationship with them, I've never got a loan from them or anything like that? Yes, and this is the great part, ABC Bank can see what I've been doing at XYZ Bank, so they're more apt to give me more money than the next person, because they can see, well, if XYZ Bank is trusting him with $250,000, or they're trusting him with $1 million, then, maybe we don't want to start them off that high. Maybe we'll trust them with 100,000. But that's still better than just Joe Blow off the street who has no banking history or has very little credit. You know, having an 800 score or 700 score and you don't have many trade lines is not taking advantage of your credit. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to take advantage of your credit and learn these systems and eat off of them. With that being said, my name is Nigel MrSchroeter. You guys were tuned into the best finance channel on YouTube, and I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you get these videos out to others. As always, we love you guys, and peace out.